The owners of Precious Talent School in Nairobi, where a building collapsed, killing 7 pupils and injuring 64 others, are staring at serious trouble. According to Education Cabinet Secretary Professor Prof McGowan, there was malpractice in the construction of the ill-fated 2-story structure, and the tragedy would have been avoided had the rules been followed. Addressing the press at the scene of the accident, Professor McGowan said owners of the school constructed an additional floor to the single-story building without seeking approval, placing the pupils' lives in danger. The school owners could also find themselves in more trouble if they are found to have floated regulations on school operating hours, as the pupils, including those in junior primary, were in class before 7 a.m. Cabinet Secretary McGowan has since directed that Precious Talent School be closed for a week as investigations into the Monday morning tragedy continue. He, however, sought to assure parents across the country of their children's safety in schools, noting that the Precious Talent School was an isolated case. 64 learners are admitted at Kenyatta National Hospital, 62 of them with soft tissue injuries, while 2 require more attention.
Allow the minister to please give some space, please, 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 please.
Well, good afternoon. On behalf of the government of Kenya and on my own behalf, I wish to convey our deepest condolences to the families, friends and relatives of the Precious Talent Primary School for the tragedy that befell the community this morning. I received this sad news, while I was away on official engagement in Kisumu, which I have had to cut short to rush here to join my colleagues in government to deal with this. So far, ladies and gentlemen, we have regrettably lost 7 young lives to this morning's incident that occurred at around 8 a.m. as the learners in classes 5 to 8 were starting their morning lessons. May the good Lord rest their souls in perfect peace. 64 learners are admitted at Kenyatta National Hospital. Of these, 62 have soft tissue injuries, while 2 require more attention. More than 600 learners underwent safety checks at the nearby St. Mary's Catholic Center. The government officials have visited Kenyatta National Hospital and confirmed that all the learners admitted to the institution are in stable condition. I shall also visit the patients in the next few minutes. The school is duly registered and has an enrollment of 800 learners. We have set a multi-agency group comprising officials from the county government, local leaders, ministries of education, interior and coordination, and the national government, and the Ministry of Health, together with the Kenya Red Cross, to manage this situation. The team will also conduct thorough investigations on the possible causes of this tragedy and submit the report for me for urgent action. In the meantime, we have asked learners to stay at their homes over the next 4 days as we put in place adequate measures to ensure their safety of learning. I want to add by saying very firmly and categorically that the children of Kenya are safe in schools, and that we should not forget that we have close to 35,000 primary schools. And this single tragic incident must not be used by anyone to instill fear in our children in both public and private primary and secondary schools. I would like to state that beyond this, the government, through my ministry, is going to continue to monitor and assure the safety of all our children, who, in my opinion, are all the same, irrespective of where they come from. We will keep providing updates to this situation, and in order to preempt a question which I am sure will be coming, there was another building that was in the news yesterday that had cracks. I think my people in the field are already there, and adequate action is being taken to ensure that children in that part of the country are not exposed for any extra minute to a situation that can endanger their lives. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, CS, for that update. My name is Satolala for NTV. You talked about adequate measures being taken. What will your ministry do to ensure that such an occurrence is prevented in the future?
First of all, let us be the Republic of Kenya puts its children first. In this locality, we have 19 full-fledged primary schools whose capacities are reasonably adequate. But then it comes to a matter of choice of parents. I am duly advised that the nearest public primary school from here is only 2 kilometers away. But then we are a democratic country, and our role as government must be restricted to ensuring that the quality of the schools that are available are safe enough. To rephrase your question, because Lenana, as far as I'm concerned, is a huge public learning institution. If there is no public learning primary school, the government will work towards establishing one. I have told you that the nearest is only 2 kilometers away, and the issue should not be the borders of the ward. The issue should be the proximity of the school to where the learners live. But since we are Kenyans and we like to dramatize issues, we will commit as government to construct a primary school in Gandu. We shall ensure that land is made available by whatever means possible. And by the grace of God, perhaps in the next 3 to 4 months, we will have a primary school here.
Let's have some order, yes?
You have noticed that I have been to all the other classrooms. And in my most humble opinion, they are stable. So if a spade must be called a spade ahead of the investigations, which you are pushing me to say, you notice that somebody went and built another story on top of the temporary structure. And I think for you to be fair to me, you should have allowed our investigations to get there. Now, if you go ahead and do so, and you don't get anybody's approval, I think we should be fair to each other, including being fair to government. Because if the owners of this school had remained with a single-story building, this accident should not have occurred. If we were working in an ideal situation, they would have come to ask for approval from the ministry, which I can guarantee you they would never have gotten. I have about 1,500 officers doing quality assurance all over the country. And I must defend them because with 30,000, over 30,000 primary schools, something like this can slip your sight. And I want to take responsibility as the minister and government who is responsible, that I will continue to inspect and to ensure that people comply with the law. I think that is the bottom line. That is the bottom line, because after I've gone around here, if there was no other story put on top of that building, these innocent children would not have died. I don't want to apportion blame to anybody, but I'm just telling you that this requires everybody's contribution, not just government, including the proprietors and your most humble self.
Maybe two more.
Official hours, which I am sure you are aware of, and I'm not about to repeat them. Compliance is mandatory. Are we together? Because we have lost children, I have not come here to blame anybody. But anybody who goes against the ministry's official hours for the children to be at school should be answerable to somebody, isn't it? We have to get this very clearly. We have official hours for the children, which I am sure you are aware of. And everybody must comply. Everybody, whether private or public. For avoidance of repeating myself, we have consulted, and because some of the children who passed on were even in the examination class, we have decided that all the children should rest for the last 4 days until next Monday, during which time the investigations will have been done. The buildings will have been re-inspected again thoroughly by professionals, and then we will give an informed advice, which may go in the direction of perhaps some of the children coming back to classes which are safe, or going to public primary schools, the farthest of which is only about 2 kilometers away.
The last one. You okay? Then thank you very much. I will give another update at the time that you've informed about. Thank you.
Reporting for Kenya Digital News, I am Joy Chalo.